We're all, of course, familiar with the old expression, the show must go on. Well, that's especially true for drama students at the University of Saskatchewan as they are continuing on their education in the midst of a pandemic and getting ready to stage a play that you'll actually be able to see. Of course, going to be doing it a little bit differently in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. Very happy today to be joined by Maxwell Folk, who is one of the stars of the upcoming Greystone production Under Milkwood. Maxwell, thanks for talking with us today. Before we get into how the play will work and some of the other details, maybe just a little bit of a synopsis of this play itself and your role in it.
Okay, so the play is called Under Milkwood. It was written by Dylan Thomas, and he worked on it throughout his life, starting very, very early on, all the way up until a couple years before his death in 1954. So it focuses on the small Welsh town of Milkwood, and it focuses on a very eclectic and funny cast of random characters throughout the town and kind of just going through a day in their lives in this town.
That sounds like it'll be a pretty good fun, and it sounds like from reading the description, it's a big cast and crew, which is understandable. Usually, the productions there at Greystone they don't mess around. It's pretty full scale, which is cool. And also cool is that people will actually get to see this. Of course, tougher to have audiences in person these days. You're going to be doing it online. Give us some of the details on how exactly that will work.
Okay, so we are going to be streaming it through a combination of Zoom and a couple other platforms that are able to kind of bridge the gap between Zoom and uh, YouTube kind of stuff. You can find more details at greystonetheatre.org, I believe the website is. And you can also look us up on Facebook at Greystone Theatre, and there should be links for Under Milkwood Productions. And then you can buy tickets and you can find the links on there.
And very reasonably priced tickets as well. There is an option where people can donate a little extra if they want to help support Greystone during these trying times, which is obviously a great option. And I can't recommend the Greystone plays more highly. It's an awful lot of fun when you get to be there in person. I've
You're
been
so
to
cute.
several
The
there
horse was
at the
delayed
theater in the
months
Mitchell
long.
building.
They are so
So check it
He's
out. Go
dismissed.
online.
The
And
master
it's
instructed
really
the ship
important
to
that
be
people
shut down
support
since
this
our
production,
deployment
Maxwell,
month ago.
because of course this is, as we said off the top, part of your education, not just learning the ins and outs of theater and drama, but also putting on a full scale production and doing it in front of people. It's important. You'd really like some support for this, I'm guessing.
Oh, absolutely. It's incredibly important, not just for our education, but for experience overall. A lot of our
Madam, do not be
students
alarmed. I see your
are
gutless suitor fled
um,
away. He's
going
so
to move
young.
on to
I
become
instantly rise.
professional or
It shows that his
semi-professional
sensitive type
actors
must
or
indeed
be
be weak.
involved in theater in another capacity. And it's very important to get this experience of having performed in front of larger audiences, but also getting experience in this kind of post-COVID world in how shows are going to be from now on.
And I imagine just the process of getting ready to stage this show has been something in and of itself. Rehearsing, planning a play in COVID-19 pandemic conditions must have been a bit of a challenge.
It definitely has been. It's a lot of time working the tech out. It's a big learning curve for not only the actors, but especially for the backstage crew, although there isn't really a stage anymore. But the sound designers and the costumers, all of those people have had to adjust the ways that they work in order to get this specific production up and running.
Well, kudos to you and your classmates, and of course the great staff there in the drama department for putting this on. Looking forward to checking this one out again coming up this weekend. And really, I mean, it's the weather's staying like this, folks. If there was ever a time you wanted to take in an online production, this is probably it. You don't have to leave your house. Your house, you can stay nice and warm and check out a great play. Maxwell, thanks so much for chatting with us today.
Well, thank you for having me.